Do you struggle to keep your high street stores open? Can't get your industries to level 5 because there are not enough workers? Well, you're in luck, because in this episode, our population is set to grow. This is episode 28 in Ashbury Dales. Welcome to Snapdragon Cities. Right, so where do you find us? Well, you find us once again looking at the entire city. We spent a lot of time in the last episode fixing the buses, looking at the view from here. We are going to have to finally put to bed our residential crisis in this city. So if we come back and have another look at the number of jobs versus the number of people, we are about 3,000 out still. Now, we've done a lot of work creating this Lower Marston area and basically not creating any more jobs over the last few episodes, but we're just not getting there. We need to get up to 50,000 people very quickly, or things are going to continue to stagnate. We won't be able to get any more industry in here. We won't be able to get any more exciting things that create jobs. So the agenda for today's episode has one thing on it: population growth. That's it. And so you might have already spotted them. We've got 3 areas on the map where I think we have opportunity to improve. So we're going to extend Marston. First of all, we put Lower Marston together a couple of episodes ago. We're going to extend it out towards the motorway here and really test the strength of that intersection. We're going to extend Oakerton over by the Poly. So we created Oakerton 1,000 years ago, and we had a really nice layout to this area here. And I'm wondering if we can replicate something very similar the opposite side of the road, and maybe make this feel a bit better integrated in with the Lockbrett area, though still separate, integrated with the Poly, though still separate. And then over here in Turnwater, we've got a huge area where we can extend over there. So if we take a look at what we're working with, we'll start in Marston first. So in this area, it's relatively flat, which we like. It comes up to the intersection here. I don't like this intersection, but we're not going to fix it in this episode. I think we're going to wait for it to be a problem before we treat it like one. But we are probably going to get up to maybe underneath the bridge here. We will see how we get on. In Oakerton, we have, again, relatively flat, though not perfectly flat, much the same as it was when we created its cousin over the road here. We're going to need to do just a bit of landscaping to get this bit ready to go, but I think once we've done that, it will be absolutely fine, and we'll do something very similar to what we've got over here. And then finally over in Turnwater, we worked long and hard over several episodes on the various incarnations of Turnwater, Turnwater down the bottom, Turnwater Rise, Upper Turnwater, and then we're going to have an extension here. What we're going to try and do with each of these areas is have them in keeping with the area that they're near. So Turnwater will feel like one place, Marston will feel like one place, Oakerton will feel like one place. But I'm also hoping we're going to get thousands more people in there by the end of this episode. I'm hoping, in fact, that I overdo it and we end up with more people than we need, or at least space for more people than we need. And then I'll let the game run for a little while and it should be problem solved. But we are going to get started straight away in Marston. And so we've seen us build Marston before. We don't need to dwell too much on how we're going to do it. We know the theme that we're using here, this kind of Victorian architecture. I think it's going to be absolutely fine. So I will lay out the major road infrastructure and get everything sort of basically laid out very quickly now. And then we'll talk about what else we need to do in this area. Right, that's not a bad layout. Let's change our angle here, I think, and come at it from this way. And let's now start to see if we can place some schools, doctor surgeries, police stations, fire services, that kind of thing. Right, there we go, one down, I think. Let's get this running. We're going to have some noise pollution, I think, from the motorway and from the train station here, but we'll see how we get on. Let's get in amongst it as it starts to build up, and I'll take you on a bit of a tour of what we've done so far. So, doctor surgery over here. The railway, they can't keep away from Marston. There's nothing we can do about it. you could say to them, but there's no railway around here. And they would say, well, there's a railway somewhere, isn't there? And you would say, well, yes, that's true. And then they would just kind of stare at you and wait until you go away and let them continue with their ridiculous expansion in Marston. Other than that, we'll get some nice houses popping up near the sauna, some non-railway pubs here as well. This is sort of a drinking alley around here by the doctor's surgery, which I think is quite convenient, a sauna to sweat it all out, and a childcare centre because you need somewhere to put your kids while you go and get drunk. Some other healthcare facilities here, amongst some other houses and stuff. We've got some death care over here by a high school, which we've got well appointed, and fire station, some police station, stuff going on, and an elementary school over here. Now this will all start to fill in nice and quickly. You can see we've already tanked what little residential demand we had. I've extended the bus network over here, gotten power and water established. So I think this area is done. We can let that tick on and we can get busy somewhere else. Let's try over here in Oakerton. So while Marston is growing up, we are going to develop Oakerton. Now we've got, this is going to be a little bit of a different build because we know already the pattern that we want here and the assets that we're going to use. So we're going to keep a very similar layout. We want these houses surrounding a square that's got a car park or a park in there, and then various other things around the edge of them. This is probably a decent enough place for us to watch from. I'll need to do a little bit of landscape checking around here to make sure that we can actually build in our pattern over here. I know we do have some gradient. We can actually just check that out here. There, so we can see we have got quite a lot of slope going on here. There is quite a bit of height difference, but I wonder if we can sort of fudge it a bit and see if we can get a lot of this stuff to go away and stick with the height of the road that goes around the outside. Get rid of this high peak here. Let's see what we can do. Let's do that first, actually. Let's get the ground to the level and height that it will be, and see if we still think this is a good idea after we've done that. Yeah, I took a bit of a liberty with that one. I hope you don't mind. So in checking that I could level it, I realised that I could, and one of the ways to test that was to put some roads down. Once I put the roads down, I thought I'd put the houses down, put the pipes in and power cables in. A couple of pubs, I imagine, going to pop up here. Let's zoom in and take a look. We haven't done anything with schools over here. We just don't quite have the room, but there are enough schools over the way in Oakerton for people to make it across, and we put a bus route in to make sure that people can make it there. So who have we got popping up over here? Let's get the game running just a little bit faster. We've got the Black Horse. And is this actually a shop? No, the Crown. There we go. I thought for a moment there it might be actually a shop, but no. Do we have a tiny pub coming in here? Let's take a look. Betfred's. There we go. Wonderful. So you can have a drink, have a bet, and then wind up in the police station. That sounds absolutely exactly what student residences would require. Right, I think now we've done that, I can reinstate some of the trees that we took out around here. Lovely stuff. And it doesn't need to be called Oakerton Extension. I think we can just actually extend Oakerton. There we go. Wonderful. So is that 2 down, 1 to go? I think it is. So the next one is going to be quite a large one, actually. We're going to make our way over to Turnwater, and we're going to extend this area over in Turnwater. So same drill as before. We'll take a moment to put some roads down. We'll extend the district over here, pop down what needs to be popped down in here, and see what it looks like when we're done. Right, let's start with this and see how we get on. Let's get the game running. So that is the 3 areas built here. We can get this running full speed and see what this does. We're still struggling with development, and we're trying to get things to pop up in 3 different places. So we'll see the commercial bits that we've put in here pop in nice and easy, and then yeah, we are going to get just a little bit of residential development in here, which is lovely. So we'll see how this goes on. We've got a school in here, we've got police, fire and medical. We've got some commercial, we've got some parks. This would be lovely. I think once this is filled in a bit, we'll know where to put the rest of the trees as well, because we've got quite a lot of trees that we need to put in. These guys couldn't be happier. Look at all the leveling up that's occurring over here. I wonder what we did that made that happen. Was it we put a whole load of trees in here, parks that they had access to all of a sudden that they could level up with? Wow, this game's really easy, isn't it? You build a town over here and another town gets absolutely delighted. These things are, yeah, there we go, just about got enough development happening over here to get that to work. So let's go back over to where we started over in Marston. So this area is actually filling in quite nicely. We're going to see this develop, I think, exactly the way that we want to see it. And look, it's nice and vibrant as well. We don't seem to be putting too much pressure on the motorway intersection over here, which we've sort of covered in trees, but I think that's absolutely fine. That's exactly the kind of thing that we're trying to do, I think, in this area. Put a little fence around the crematorium just to keep it nice and private. I imagine there'd be some ceremonies happening in the back here. We've got the school seems to be working fine. Buses everywhere, more buses than everything else, of course. The railway still in here. Yeah, they're still in here. So I'm hoping that as these level up, they will change. But Marston will forever be the home of, what's it, at least 10 railway pubs now, it would seem. That's it. So how much residential development has not yet filled in? A load. Right, so we've got plenty of room for that there. Let's jump over to Oakerton, where we know we're not expecting to see any further residential development, but can we see activity? Are people in these houses? Ah, right. So I see what we've done here. We did some work in the episode where we placed these over the road on the number of people that would be in these residences using realistic population. We've not done the same over here. They reckon 3 households in here. I think it's going to end up being quite a bit more. Let's, for reference, remember what we put in them over here. So the corner one's 42, the wider one's 22, the thinner one's 10. So 10, 22, 42. Let's do that. There we go. Now remember, folks, these are low-cost student flats here. So they're not supposed to be luxury living. We're not looking for lots of space for lots of separate families in here. We're looking for lots of people crammed in. Blanket, pillow, and a door is what people can expect in these areas. They look nice on the outside. I imagine on the inside, it's altogether a different story. But we'll let them get on with it. We've got plenty of trees around the outside of it as well. So what is not to like? Lovely. Right, and then pop back over to the turn water bit that we just did, and this is starting to fill in, albeit a little bit slowly. So what I will do then is I will spend a little bit of time just running the game full speed and seeing if we can notice some of the development occurring in these areas. So sit tight and let's watch some buildings grow. Well, actually, before we jump into taking a look around, look at what's happened. Armondside Quarry has reached level 5. So we've managed to get our industry up to level 5. We've got enough people now to fill in all the places that we've got over there. So we can now finish off that quarry when we find time to get to it. We will absolutely do that. But look at that, level 5 quarry. We managed to make it all the way to Colossal City, 50,000 people, exactly what we were aiming for. And so we can finish our episode then looking at the wonderful heroes of Lower Marston putting out this fire in one of our new Georgian or Victorian terrace buildings here. So managed to do that without the loss of a single tree. The garden play equipment there still perfectly intact, and some people even just driving off to work. So well done to them, and well done to us as well. I really like this area. If you've liked it too, then please like the video, leave a comment, let me know what it was you liked about it. Subscribe to the channel while you're there and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with everything we do here. All that being said, thank you very much for spending your time with me. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll speak to you again soon. Take care and goodbye.